Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Hambone here, and today what we're going to be doing is covering the Mage class guide for Adventure Quest 3D. And I thought I would do this because these are some of the most popular videos on my channel, and they're 2 years old now. All of my class guides are completely outdated for Adventure Quest 3D. So I thought I'd start in here, and I'm going to go ahead and use my favorite class to play, the one that I spend the most time playing, it seems, these days, and that would be the Mage class. So without any further ado, let's jump on in this video, and we're going to talk about the class and just all the things that are good about it and how to use it. Now, first things first, I have not equipped a cross skill. I will not be having a cross skill in any of my guides because I'm doing this under the impression that you probably don't have the cross skill for this class unlocked. You might have it for another class or whatever, but you probably don't have it for this class unlocked, so I'm not going to do a cross skill in these videos because of that. So the passive ability is mana regeneration increases as mana approaches 0. Basically, all that does is make your mana go up just a little bit faster the closer it gets to 0. Auto cast is just, it shoots like a magical little volley at your opponent. You know, just auto attack, same thing as everything else pretty much. Now the fireball, it takes like a second to charge, but it's a huge blast of fire damaging all enemies around the target. So what this does is that you shoot it, and if there's multiple enemies grouped into the little area there, you hit them all. It does damage to all of them. And so it's a pretty solid attack. It does a lot of damage. But now the next one we're going to do is Ice Spear, and it is launch a conjured lance of ice at your foe, dealing frost damage over time. So this is a damage over time attack. So if you hit them with a fireball, then you frost, and you Ice Spear, they're going to be taking some damage over time. They took a huge bit of damage already. And then you use your last ability, Lightning Strike, which blasts your enemy and stun them briefly. By the time you use this, your fireball should be pretty well charged back up, and you can just keep hammering them again until they're gone. Most enemies in the game don't usually take that long to kill, but on your boss fights and stuff, using your abilities in conjunction with one another and making sure that you always have that damage over time from the Ice Spear, and you're always stunning them when you can with the Lightning Strike, that'll keep you a few steps ahead of the enemy, if you will. Now, the ultimate ability is Meteor Volley, and of course it charges as you deal damage, and it just launches a bunch of meteors on your target. Pretty cool thing. And I'm going to talk about the cross skill, but of course I'm not going to use it for the purposes of these videos, so you won't have to worry about it. But the cross skill is Rune Siphon. What it does is places like a little rune on your target, and it's a damage over time again. So if you're stacking this damage over time with this damage over time, and then you're taking and hitting them with your fireballs on cooldown, you're taking them and you're stunning them on the Lightning Strike on cooldown, you're going to be doing pretty solid in this class. You unlock the fireball at rank 1. Rank 2 is Ice Spear, Ice Spear. Rank 3 is Lightning Strike, and 4 is the Mana Spring passive ability. So you don't have that passive ability until rank 4. Then of course your ultimate skill comes at rank 5, and then everything else is just increasing the power of your abilities until you get to rank 10, which unlocks your cross skill. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into this, and I'll show you just exactly how the class works, and we're going to go on a random adventure. Okay, so here we are in our little random adventure. I had some connection issues there for a second, so that's why I went ahead and just cut that bit out till the connection issues got solved. But we're going to go ahead here, and we're going to zoom out so you can see everything really well. I'm going to target this guy, and I'm going to hit him with my auto attack first. I need to be a little closer. Alright, so here we go. We've got him pulled to us. I'm going to go ahead and fireball him, Ice Spear, and then we're going to stun him. I'm going to jump away, and we're just going to let him die. Next thing, we're going to fireball. We're going to Ice Spear so we can get some damage over time. Fireball again. And then the next guy, we're going to lead in with the stun. So instead of, you know, stunning him later, we're going to stun him first. So here we go. Stun. Fireball. And Ice Spear for the damage over time. And then Fireball is going to recharge. We're going to hit him again. Fireball recharges very, very quickly. Back in the day, it took it a while, but now they've you know, buffed the fireball ability, and it does really well. We're going to have to deal with these guys here, so I'm going to quit talking for just a second. We're going to drop a Meteor Volley, and it got canceled because the die died. Okay, here we go. We're going to have to use a potion. Alright, potion used. Lightning Strike, he's stunned. We're going to go ahead now and hammer this next guy. And he's going to be down in just a second. Now we're going to let ourselves heal back up. But that's basically the gist of how you use the Mage class. You know, playing the Mage class solo is a really solid option because it allows you to be at a range and kind of, you know, you can control the engagement. I can pull this guy over here and ignore this guy, or I can pull this guy and ignore this guy. You know, there's different things that you can do with the Mage class that makes it kind of unique. It's the only range class that you have access to right away. You don't have to earn. There's no questing to earn. That's one of the main 3 beginners classes, which is why I'm starting out with those 3 classes, and I will be doing Dragon Slayer guides and different things, Necromancer, as I come to them. But for the first little bit here, the Mage class is really a solid option. It's one of the more balanced classes in the game, in my opinion. It's not overpowered, but it's not underpowered either. You know, you can build a Mage out and use the correct armor types and stuff, and it'll do you really, really well. Every situation in the game that you come to, a Mage is going to be viable. There's not really a point where I would say, don't use the Mage. You know, like there's never been a time in the game where the Mage was just not a viable class. It's been an enjoyable class since the very, very beginning, and I use it for all the boss battles nowadays most of the time, unless I am fighting with something that my Guardian would be better suited for because of its ability to tank damage the way it does. But overall, the Mage class, sorry about that, overall the Mage class is a pretty solid option, especially of the starting 3. You know, you can't really go wrong with a Mage class, in my opinion. Starting with a Mage class will get you through every step of the way in the game without a problem. Not to mention that its cross skill is actually fairly usable because it's a damage over time statistic. So that means that every bit of little damage that you can do, you know, with your cross skill is going to be good because it's going to have damage over time. So no matter the class, okay, camera, no matter the class that you're using it on, it's going to be a solid cross skill. Sorry about that. I'm having issues with this camera. Let's try this. There we go. Every time you use an ability, though, it pulls the camera back. New things, I guess. But anyways, so the Mage class is very, very, very solid option early on and late game, just because it's diverse enough. It does enough damage. You know, you can do damage from a range of, obviously, you know, if you've got somebody in your group dungeon, you know, you say you're dungeoning together, you got someone in your group who is, you know, pulling everybody or keeping them off of you, you can just continuously sit back, do a lot of damage. You see the fireball, the different abilities, they do a lot of damage. And the reason I chose to come to these random adventures is because anybody can play these and they're all the same. So you're going to see all my videos on the classes are going to be in these random areas because my level is adjusted for the area. And so it's not going to show like I'm fighting, you know, the videos are going to be more equal and balanced this way, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to keep carving through these minions here. We're going to see how it works. I'm going to fireball, and then I'm going to do some damage over time. And you can see that little icon with the snowflake there is what you use, is what shows, you know, what the damage over time. It's like a little timer, and it goes away when the damage is done. So that's how you can kind of keep track of all that. But we're going to go up here to the last, I believe this is the last area of this one. We're going to go up here, we're going to deal with this guy, and then we're going to go back to battle on, and I'm going to tell you what my next video is going to be about very, very shortly. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start with a stun here. Stun, damage over time, and fireball. So you see he's stunned for just a few seconds there, and he's stunned almost long enough for me to kill him. And that's the big thing. If you can catch him with these stuns at the right amount of time, you can almost never take damage. So if you've got a really solid Mage build, you know, for good damage, even more than, I'm not using a solid Mage build, honestly. I just using a general everything build. You know, I don't build out my character most of the time for the class that I'm playing because I play such a variety of classes. But were I to, say, main the Mage, I could build a pretty solid Mage build, honestly, that does a lot more damage and does better with the mana. But we're going to lead in here with a stun, then I'm going to hit him with my ultimate, and we're going to hit a fireball all in one go here. So here you go. Oh, he silenced me. Okay. Stun, ultimate, fireball, damage over time, and then fireball on cooldown for the rest of the fight. And we're going to stun him on cooldown as well because he silences us. He's one of those types that likes to silence, which is really irritating. But we're just going to keep cruising around here. Going to keep trying to avoid him as best we can do. Let's go ahead and silence me again. Okay, damage over time, stun, fireball. And you see we're just kind of whittling him down here. I do recommend with this class and with any carrying plenty of healing potions. You want to make sure that you're able to heal yourself over time. And I really recommend, if they're still, you know, I haven't even bought healing potions in so long, I don't know what they cost, but if they're still like a single dragon coin for a healing potion, use some of those that you get every day. I mean, you get like, what, 10, you know, between 8 and 10 a day or something like that, 8 to 12. You know, use some of your daily potions on though, or some of your dailies on those potions. I'm going to have to watch out here. I'm going to get beaten, and this is going to be embarrassing. But we're going to carry on here. I'm going to quit talking and try and focus up here and try and kill this guy before he kills me. Come on, potion. Alright, abilities, please save my life. We got him. We got him. Alright. But that is the basic gist. Wow, they have changed how much you get from these things. It used to be you get like maybe a shard from these events. Now you get like what, 3? Well, that was 3, and I got a bunch of shards too. That's pretty solid. But that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video on the Mage class. If you have, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. All the rest of the classes are coming in the coming weeks. Hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.